so good because it was peaceful, relaxing. I was by myself, and wow, I just went down to the beach near me. Luckily, I live near a beach, and yeah, 20 minutes away. And pretty much I went down there and just went, put my favourite music on, which I do, wore the sort of clothes I thought were good. Well, the same clothes I wear running because they, feel better when you run. And anyway, and wow, I normally run 5 kilometres in, last time I did it was 52 minutes. Today I ran it in 48 minutes. And why am I telling you this? Because it's Sunday, about the 8th, 7th of June, and this just, it cleared my brain, and it just felt amazing. Because if you don't know, after getting let go from a job on Friday, and so now Sunday morning, and feeling the effects of it, feeling a bit cheated on because I knew I did the right thing, but the other people involved didn't. And I realised that even as they talk to me, there's no point in fighting it because I've got to believe the other person over me anyway, and I've got no leg to stand on. Yeah, but I had a nightmare. I know this sounds horrendous. I had a nightmare last night about it. I've noticed my eating patterns have gone a bit off track, and so I thought today, after I went to a job that I've been at for 18 years, and have probably only had one problem in that time, and I do a supervisor role there, and I really love it. It's in hospitality events, so I decided after going home, still carrying this burden with me, which I told myself that I'll get over, and I probably don't need to go see a counsellor. I just need to move on. I think the nightmare was because the other person involved told me they lived in the suburb that I live in, and I had this haunted dream of them turning up at my house, and yeah, saying they got me and all this, and yeah, they had a gun, and it was just, it was no good. It was a nightmare. And so, yeah, I went running, and now, even though I'm talking about this, I think the reason I'm talking about this is so that if anyone is experiencing any sort of trauma, even if you think this is a stupid trauma, like from the loss of somebody, a job, something happening in your life, that you just want to free yourself up from, do something that you love. And running is something that I love, so that's why I had to go. And I know now I've got to just, throughout the week, even if it's just stuff at home, I've got to keep myself busy. Because if I'm not keeping myself busy, I'm going to dwell on this situation, and I may possibly even make a wrong move with it. I might send a message or go down to the place or whatever and try and get revenge, which I've done in the past with a situation, and I don't want to do that. Or go back to something that I used to do, like eat bad or other addictions and stuff. And I don't want to be that person because I've suffered from that in my earlier years. I don't want to be that person again. I want to be the stronger person who can just move forward from this. I think today, after I sat down and did this application, which I probably mentioned I wanted to do for some temping work in the industry I work in, to go with the other stuff I've got, and just finding a few little other bits and pieces to keep myself busy, paid and unpaid and whatever, I decided that, and I've just lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'm going to go home and make a list of the good and the bad things about the situation and what to do moving forward. I was thinking on here, start journaling prompts or something, just so that it can help me and maybe help others. I've seen a lot of Pinterest or internet ones about journaling prompts, and it just tells you a question, I don't really have an example off the top of my head. And then you write about it. Just get your thoughts out. So maybe I'll do a talking one. Let's do German talks. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. And I'm going to go get home. And I'm going to continue on my day nicely, not thinking about anymore about this situation. So let's do this. Bye.